Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, and if you're new, then welcome. And if you don't want to miss out on weekly pick a card readings like this one each week, don't forget to subscribe. Today's pick a card reading is, we are going to see what other people's first impression of you is. Let's find out. In front of me, I have 4 different options, each with a different shell. Observe each of these shells as well as numbers and choose the one that really calls out to you. If you need more time, you can pause the video now, and if you know which one you want, you can go to the timestamp down below. Okay, let's get started. Hey, group number 1. Okay, so what are other people's first impression of you? Okay, so I am going to describe you using these 2 cards. So the impression that I get with you guys is that you come across as that you like to meet new people, okay? And you're like at ease around new people. And you come across as calm, collected, confident. And I feel like you guys, you have such good conversation skills naturally that you can talk to anybody about anything, okay? And the other thing that I'm getting is that because you're so in your element around other people, that you also come across as charming and even a little bit flirty, but not like even intentionally. It's just like your natural charm. And the other impression that I'm getting, especially with this card, is like you have this kind of like hard to get, okay? So it's kind of like, it's more like you're hard to reach, like you're not available that often. And it's really due to the fact that you're a really busy person and you have a lot going on. So you're the type that like, it almost has to be your idea. Because I feel like, you know, when it comes to other people and making plans, you're like, you want to hang out and see them, but like you don't have a lot of time, is the impression I'm getting. The other thing is, as much as you are like really good at conversation and talking about anything with people, I also feel like though, but at the same time, they don't go away like you do tell stories about yourself, but it's almost like you still withhold like a bit of information about yourself. So you still have like this air of mysteriousness to you that they can't quite pinpoint, okay? Which leaves people intrigued and wanting to know more about you. The other thing I'm getting, especially with this card, is that I actually feel like you guys have a lot of different people that are interested in you romantically, but some will make it known, some won't make it known. But I also get the impression that they get the impression that you get a lot of people who, you know, want to pursue you. And yes, this is going for guy or girl. And it's like, they kind of wonder if you're kind of a player a little bit, but not. Okay, so I'm not quite getting player vibes with you, but it's more like they feel like, that's the other aspect of you being hard to get. I feel like they feel like you are very choosy and selective with who you will even entertain. Because it's just, again, it goes back to you being so busy. But yeah, I think because you do get a lot of people who also pursue you. And yes, people can tell, like just by the way you carry yourself and the way that you are. And a lot of it could have to do with how at ease you are around others, because I feel like, you know, when it comes to meeting new people, often people aren't just their most open, friendly, outgoing selves. You know, it might take a little bit, or some people are just way more in their element with people they know or being alone, but not you, okay? You are like a social butterfly, but it's more than that though. It's like you are, it's funny though, because even though you're at ease with being social, I also get the impression though that you're okay being alone too. It's like you're just this all around, like, I'm okay if I go out, I'm okay if I stay in, I'm okay if I see people, I'm okay if I don't. Like, I'm always doing my own thing. And I feel like that has to do with the fact that you guys are overall like a real centered person internally, and you know yourself. Okay, so that is why you feel pretty at ease and okay, like, no matter what situation, no matter who you're around. And yeah, and because of that, you know, people want more of what you've got. It's like they're drawn to you like a magnet, okay? The other impression that I'm getting with you, group number one, is that you guys come across kind of like, especially if you're a guy, like a jock, okay? Or somebody who's like an athletic build, or you work out, or both, okay? So yeah, that's definitely coming through as far as how people, you know, their first impression, like, they can tell, okay, because you're in shape. Yeah. And also if you're a girl, I feel like, you know, like you're in shape too. But definitely with the guys, it's coming through strong for this group. Okay, group number one, you guys come across as this calm, confident, collected person who's at ease talking to whoever they're around and doing whatever, and who is hard to pin down to get together with because you're a busy person who have a lot of things going on. That's the other thing, you guys are really goal-driven people as well. Okay, so if this resonated with you, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Hey, group number two. So what are other people's impression about you? Okay, so the two cards that I am going to use to describe you are these two. Okay, so right away, the impression that I'm getting about the impression that others have of you is that when you meet people, you come across as friendly, okay? So you're real warm, friendly, and the other impression that I'm getting is that when you meet new people, like, you're not totally in your element, okay? I'm definitely getting the impression that you are most comfortable with people that you already know, but you still will meet other new people. It's just you might have a little bit of, you know, like a reserved energy about you until you warm up to them. And so, but I also get the impression that you guys come across as being calm, even if you're not totally feeling it, because, you know, you're kind of out of your element. But yeah, it goes with that friendliness that you have naturally. And you guys are also seen as creative, okay? So it does come across. So that could be like with what you wear, what you talk about, you know, if they follow you on social media, they see like stuff that you post that's artistic, okay? So it definitely comes across. The other thing I'm getting though is like if you're not having a good day, and it's like you then won't just put on that plastered smile, you know, like, oh, I'm just gonna be polite. No, like, I'm getting the impression that you would make it known, you know, I'm not having the best day, I'm kind of in a mood, you know, because you have this authenticity about you, okay? So you're definitely true to yourself, you're true to your feelings, you're not just gonna try and gloss things over with like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling this way. Like, you're human, you're gonna have emotions and times, you know, where you just got to go through it, right? So you're very aware in that sense. And with this card, I am getting the impression that sometimes, you know, you do go through like mood swings, okay? So you can get a little bit moody sometimes. You're human, you know? The other impression that I'm getting, okay, so with the two of these combined, is sometimes, like, along with the mood swings, I feel like, you know, when you're more feeling your best self, basically, you know, that's when you're like, yeah, you know, social, friendly, wanting to go out, wanting to text people. And then when your mood takes a dip, you're just like, yeah, you know, I don't have the energy to like communicate with others. I need me time. I need alone time, you know, just to like, yeah, just to get back to yourself, just to like, yeah, you know what I mean? So I do feel like, you know, that, yeah, like that's how you operate. The thing about you guys is there is definitely this mysteriousness about you. So even with people who know you well, it's like it's kind of like you're not like a total open book, so it's like they still don't totally, yeah, it's just like there's this mysteriousness about you. And you also sometimes come across like you live in your own world, okay? So that could go for like the times where you are completely, you know, cool with being by yourself, and just like I feel like that's when you're in your creative element, okay? And that's when you come out of the woodwork and all of a sudden you start posting all this artistic stuff or projects that you've been working on, and people are like, oh, you know, there's so-and-so again. Yeah, that's you guys. But yeah, you know, being that you guys have these two water cards that describe you, I feel like, you know, you guys feel emotions intensely. So, like I said, you know, when you're feeling great, like, you know, you're there, you're all about, yeah, let's do this, let's do that, like down for things and adventurous and fun. And then like when you're caught up in your feels, it's like, oh, you just want to retreat. Okay. So as far as your first impression goes, because I feel like the people close to you, you know, they consider you a loyal, true friend. But those, okay, so as far as first impression goes though, you sometimes can be seen as kind of a Gemini because of, you know, the emotions. And so like one minute, you know, you're down for something, and then the next minute you're like, why did I make plans? And it has nothing to do, like it's not personal, it has nothing to do with the people. It's more like you're going through it, you know what I mean? And like you just want to like take a time out and get yourself right, recenter, rebalance, and yeah, ride the wave of this emotion and then get back to feeling like you again. So yeah, group number 2, I'm really curious, like if you happen to be a water sign or have water, you know, as your moon rising or any of that you know of, let me know, okay? I'm curious, because water is coming through really strong as far as your personality goes, as well as your first impression. Okay, group number 2, this is what I see for you. So all in all, you guys are seen as these friendly, warm, fun people who appear calm, even if, you know, you're feeling it. You come across as calm either way. And, you know, you have this artisticness about you, this creativity that people see. And sometimes you come across as kind of a Gemini, you know, with new people, like you're all for something one minute, and the next minute you're like, no. All right, group number 2, let me know in the comments if this resonated, and if it did, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Number 3. Okay, so what are other people's first impression of you? Okay, so I'm going to use these 2 cards to describe that. All right, so right away with the King of Earth, people see you as, okay, so maybe for some of you, you come from money, and other people, they know that, okay, upon meeting you, they can just tell, okay, so maybe you have a lot of material things that are really nice, okay? Others of you have worked your way into, okay, you know, having a lot of money, and you also have a lot of nice material things, okay? So whichever, it could even, you know, be both, but people see you as having a lot of money, being wealthy, having a lot of nice material things. And yeah, I'm actually getting the impression too that a lot of people envy you guys. But at the same time, okay, so regardless of which it is, you also come across though as a very goal-driven person, okay? So I feel like, you know, you guys are very ambitious. You're very I said, goal driven, and like you just have this like fire in you and this passion, and it inspires people, okay? You might even have several things going on money wise, and yeah, and I feel like you're really good at what you do, and it's like people want to know more, okay? So they're really intrigued when they talk to you about this kind of stuff. And since this is a general reading, if you guys are like, what? I don't have money. I don't have a job right now. What are you talking about? Okay, for those of you, then this is about, I feel like you guys have a lot of different projects or creative projects that you are working towards that either you have posted about or told people about, and like they're just like, wow, like look at this person. They're really good at what they do and they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like that inspires people. So take which of those resonates with this. But yes, you guys are seen as being successful in a particular area that a lot of people wish they were, like they had that in life. Okay, so when I see the 9 of water reversed, it tells me that, okay, so along with having what other people want, it's almost like, you know, if you ever come across as not being appreciative or like just, you know, like human nature, let's say you complain about something, then I feel like these people almost like watch you, listen to you like a hawk, and they think, how in the world can you complain when you have it all? Okay, and that's coming from their perspective of feeling like they don't have, you know, near what you have, that type of thing. So yeah, I feel like it's almost like people expect you to just totally be grateful like all the time. You know, that's just how you are seen. You are seen in such a light of like having made it already. And I feel like for some of you that's going to make sense, and others of you are going to, knowing yourself, you're probably thinking, what? Like, I'm not in that place yet. Doesn't matter. This is how they're seeing it. Okay, so whatever you have accomplished, these people are like, wow, like they're blown away. They're impressed by you. For some of you too, this could also be like accomplishment wise. So it could be in a particular hobby, okay? Like maybe you're the best at whatever it is you do. It's just like, kind of like 6 of Wands energy is coming through, okay? So like total like, you guys are just somehow, you're definitely seen as just doing the best in a particular area in like, and accomplishing something that not a lot of people have done, okay? So it's also got that feel to it. So for those of you who weren't born into money, but you know, you are the one who like has worked for what they have, I feel like, you know, there's not even this arrogance about it. I do feel like you guys actually come across as being humble and more like you own it. You're like, well, yeah, you know, I have what I have, like I worked for it, you know, like you realize it was a grueling process. It could be, it could have been. Like, I don't want to speak for everybody. I think, you know, different journeys, different paths have different obstacles, but some definitely might be smoother than others. So, but it's more like you own it in the sense that, you know, you were the one who was putting in the work. So you know what it took and you own it. Okay. But in like I said, it's not arrogant. It's not even completely humble. It's just like yeah, you know, you own it. But on top of it, what I think is cool is it's like, okay, so you might as well just flip this Nine of Cups. It like fits your energy better because, like I said, yeah, you know, you're human. You might make comments here and there and complain. So what? But like overall though, I'm actually getting the impression that you're more of a motivator yourself, okay? So you would be more the type to be like, okay, you know, instead of envying me, like, how can I help you get to where you want to be in life? Like, how can we make this Nine of Water, this wish fulfillment of yours, this dream life of yours come true? And I'm actually also getting the impression, group number 3, that you guys could actually, you know, I feel like you're already doing it, but some of you might be headed towards this direction of like somehow doing some kind of work that inspires others, okay, to make their dreams happen, to make their goals happen. Yeah. And in fact, yeah, that's exactly what's coming through for this. Okay, group number 3, this is what I see for you. If this resonated, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Group number 4. Okay, so what are other people's first impression about you? Okay, so I am going to use these 2 cards to describe that. All right, so the first thing is when I see this card, it tells me that you guys are wise beyond your years. Okay, so you might even be described as an old soul. And I feel like with that, okay, so with people your age or with people older, it's kind of like, you know, you'll just start speaking this wisdom and people will be like, what? Where did you come up with that? Like, yeah, and I feel like, you know, you'll just like be in conversation and just all of a sudden start spewing these insights, okay, that hit you about a certain situation, and people will be like, wow, like that totally fits my situation. But they'll also be baffled, like, how in the world did you come up with that? And it's, again, it's just like naturally you guys are an intuitive person who does have this wisdom, okay? So if it ever does come to you to just like say something, and whether it makes sense or not, and it feels, you know, like helpful, not hurtful, like, yeah, I would just say it, because you never know. Like, it might spark this idea or something in another and actually be a key message that they needed to hear. Okay. So along with that, I feel like you guys are able to read people pretty well, okay? So I'm getting this impression that, you know, you guys, along with being an old soul, are and intuitive. You're more aware than a lot of different, you know, than other people. And, but at the same time that you see through people, I feel like, but they can't quite read you, okay? And that goes back with the first impression. And if you see like both of these people's faces, I know it's kind of tough to see, but like they both kind of have a poker face. And I feel like, okay, so that's like you. Okay, I feel like this is interesting, you only reveal what you want people to see. Yeah, whether like it's your physical expression, your mannerisms, what you say, what you do. And it's not even that you're like totally like calculating this. It's just like, because you're so like in tune and aware, it's like you think, why reveal so much of myself? Like, what's that going to do? You know, it's just like, so again, it goes even back to you spewing out the wisdom and, you know, the insights. It's like, because you're more aware, you're even more choosy with what you choose to share, okay? But because of that, because you're not like everybody else, not that everybody else is like that, but you know what I mean, like people who talk about just like anything and everything, about every little detail of what's going on with them. People find you mysterious and like, do they really know you? But they're intrigued by this, okay? So it's a good thing, okay? Like, it leaves them wanting to talk to you more. Okay, and along with that, you guys are also seen to be like, this calm, collected person who I also feel is creative, but yeah, it's kind of like, and confident. And I do get the impression that you guys are more introverted, but it's not like a shy introvertedness. It's just more like you just don't feel like you have to talk. Like you're comfortable with silence. So yeah. It's not to say though that you don't all of a sudden get talkative. I feel like that is also the case with you. So you can be kind of intro extrovert, you know, especially when it comes to something that you're passionate about. You really do talk a lot, but it's kind of like you have a quiet confidence about you. Yes, that is the way I would describe it, a quiet confidence. And I actually get the impression when I see her holding this that almost like you would rather create something than just talk, especially if it is what you would consider to be mindless chit-chat. That's interesting. The other way that you come across is, oh, and that's also how you're also seen as being like an old soul compared to your age group. It's not to say that you don't come across as youthful. Like I do feel like you are, but it's like you don't care about a lot of the same things that people your age do. That's what's coming through about that. You're just like your own person completely, and you do what like ignites this creative flame, you know? That's what I'm getting with this Empress here. And along with that, okay, so you are also seen as being an authentic person, okay? So I feel like, again, it goes back with not wanting to do things that you don't really care about. You also are true to yourself, and you're like, you don't just say things because you think that's what others want to hear either, okay? So yeah, like if somebody asks your opinion on something, I feel like you're gonna give it, you know? And yeah, but you wouldn't purposely go out of your way though. Again, it comes back to that being wise thing. But you wouldn't shy away from giving it either. So yeah, group number 4, all in all, you guys are seen as being these wise people beyond your years, and who is intuitive, can read people, but only reveal what you want to reveal, and cool, calm, collected, totally unique individual who does their own thing, you know, and is creative, and yeah, you know, like, and authentic. All right, group number 4, if this resonated, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys.